and welcome to our UW Esports Game of the Week featuring your very own UW Esports teams. And this week, we get to feature our own Overwatch team against two other teams. Yes, we are actually featuring two matches today.
Yep.
Lucky you. For the Collegiate Overwatch. Oh, sorry. I am Nelson. I'm a freshman at the University of Washington. I'm going to be casting for you tonight.
And then I'm andVid. I'm also going to be here casting. So yeah, let's have some fun. We're gonna be having 4 games against 2 different teams. So UW versus ERAU Eagles and UW versus Bethany Swedes. So we're gonna have 2 different opponents, 4 different maps. And so, yeah, let's start to get right into it.
Yes, we get lots of matches today. And it looks like we're going to be getting into it really soon. As we see, technically these are all replays, but they're still going to be fun to spectate nevertheless as we see us loading in, and we're going to Nepal. And this looks like Nepal Village, if I'm not mistaken, and this is a map well known for Reinhardt May type stuff with the 2 choke points on flank. Right now, though, Team 2, I'm not sure if ERAU is trolling us. Is this real?
With the Bastion pick? No, of course not.
Gosh dang it. We couldn't just have a Bastion and be okay with it? Oh, come on.
Not this early in the season. This is the first week of the season for the Collegiate Overwatch. So yeah, this is going to be setting the scene, setting the mood for the rest of the tournament. So here comes Ryan in, immediately gets Hog low, but he gets immediately juiced up. Hog still taking control. Tree Ball when the Tracer goes around, takes a pick, takes out some more people. It looks like this first match with the McCree gone is going to UW.
This weird rotations coming from the Eagles here, where only about half of the team ever made it to point, and that was the Lucio and the Hog. Everyone else kind of was just outside the point, and so Lucio and Roadhog kind of were isolated on point.
Yeah, they got split. Some people, they went halfway onto point, halfway outside, so it was an interesting take. But the second battle is already underway as Dolphin immediately gets a pick before having to be forced back all the way back into spawn. Looks like UW has managed to take a few picks and push them all the way to their spaceship until backing up, maybe getting in the safety of this little building here. So Mad Cow Disease being the front line.
Looks like they're kind of unprepared for that kind of aggression, which you kind of have to expect given they're rolling this Reinhardt Brig type thing. There are lots of ultimates online
this
now.
Platypus. Oh, he takes out the retire from behind. Oh, he gets the original
no
pick and then
ammo
2 with the tire.
This Junkrat here can kind of just roll over his backline with impunity, as it seems right now. And don't hit this charge, please. Okay, thank you. Lucio's still gonna die, but as I was saying here, this Junkrat here kind of just rolled over the backline without control there, without the immortality field being able to cover them. Now there are 5 more ultimates to deal with, and right now there's only 2 online. Oh!
Hammer from behind! He was all alone, but it paid off. That Reinhardt was hiding in that little shack. He was able to get his ult off, and because of that,
there's no way he survives here, right?
Oh, he's so low, he's getting healed by his Brig, and he's gonna make it out! He's gonna make it past this fight and into the next one. In fact, the rest of his team was able to come up and help him out, help him get out. Okay, but maybe it's time to slow down. Maybe it's time to retreat back into the buildings for now.
Yeah, that was a clutch Brig ult there, the rally to just barely keep Mad Cow up through all that damage here. As we're getting close to overtime here. Oh,
it's tough. Dolphin's ult was in a good spot if it wasn't for that D.Va bomb. If that D.Va bomb wasn't there, him and his Ryan could have made a lot of damage on the squishies on UW's team, but because the D.Va bomb was able to go over the shield, it took out everybody who was trying to hide behind. That was a nasty D.Va bomb.
It sucks too, and they're probably gonna lose that fight anyway because Anon on the Batiste just gets picked right as they're trying to rotate onto point. That was gonna be tough regardless, and overall, it looked like the Eagles just weren't prepared for the aggression that the Reinhardt Brig rushdown style plus the poke from the Junkrat brought. That being said, we are now heading onto Nepal's Shrine, where Reinhardt Break maybe isn't as good, and it looks like the composition swap from UW is reflecting this.
Yeah, it's gonna be harder to find some places to hide, to pop out those ults, unless they're able to push up all the way to spawn again, which would be kind of crazy. But it looks like this first match is gonna be scattered all across point. We get our first pick, gets rid of that toast on Junkrat, gets 2 more picks. There goes their hog. There goes a healer with Baptiste. Tree Bob once again going around, and since everybody's half health, they're just finishing him off. But this Lucio tries to skate away, can't get away. Instead, he leads him to this hamster for Tree Bob to get another kill. Yeah, this first team fight, UW took almost exactly like they did in the previous round.
Platypus already is nearly at a Riptire. No one else is above 60 right now, and this first fight, the second fight I should say, might be over pretty quick with a very fast Riptire.
Looks like we got a switch on Pharah. Junkrat's gonna have a harder time pinning her down. He tried to get close, but now he's taking Pharah back. But he's at 97%, so if he only gets like a few hits, he's gonna have Riptire. But it looks like she's gonna evade danger for now. They're just kind of wreaking havoc with a Mercy healing her up. And here goes Hog up onto
Nano Tracer?
Oh, and here comes a D.Va Bomb. The D.Va Bomb was able to take out the Pharah in the sky. They tried to go for a res. Pushes off the Mercy, but she's able to get the res off. And so, maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah.
Yeah, that was more an ultimate difference there. There's not a lot available from the side of the Eagles there. They only had the amplification matrix. On the other side, you had a pulse bomb toss out, or by the way, trivia, he used one early last fight, already has it again. Riptire came out, Nano Boost came out, D.Va Bomb came out. Not so much you can do if you only have one ultimate against that.
Yeah, and now as the ticker goes to 70%, upwards of 70%, we're finally gonna have a fight on point. So here comes Mad Cow Disease with another ult, and he's diving right into the enemy hamster bombs. Looks like Big O-Wo on the Roadhog is doing a bunch of damage with this close range advantage, and they're finally able to cap the point.
That being said, you only really had the investment of the pulse bomb from the side of the UW. And so you had the whole hog and the mines, which yes, they did get a lot of value, but now the ult economy, yes, is still in the Eagles' favor as of right now, but you're gonna see it swing pretty quick in a little bit.
Yeah, looks like it's UW's turn to fight, but they've been waiting for this opportunity to show off. Hamster goes in their backline, has to get pushed off because the hog is able to back up and help his teammates.
Get it for free.
Yeah. In order to protect the squishes in the background, their tanks had to fall back, and that's gonna cost them point.
There comes the barrage there, and yeah, doesn't end up getting a final blow. Red's gonna try to come in, but no one's gonna be able to touch the point on time, and that's going to be the first game over pretty quick there.
Yeah, wow. There was a bunch of interesting ults. I think UW was able to use their ults really well. They were able to make great value out of their D.Va Bomb. They were able to really get some Riptire kills. That Reinhardt in the first round of the match, where he was hiding in the shack all alone, I was just like thinking, he's by himself. He's in great danger, but he was able to sneak from behind and throw down his hammer. I mean, I didn't predict it. There was no way they could have predicted it. It was just a great play, really.
Mm-hmm. And something else is that the UW team overall seemed to be in a much better position to capitalize on ults, and in general, the Eagles just didn't seem to have the team coordination needed to take down the UW. You saw, I pointed out the very first fight that the team was kind of split off and on point, and towards the second point, although I didn't point it out as much, we saw that that except for that one fight where they actually got a good ultimate engage with the minefield and stuff, overall the appeal just wasn't really there for the people that needed, whether it be the front line and the Baptiste maybe it wasn't the best place to keep his tanks up, or the back line just getting picked from a late ammo field. Yeah, that didn't really go so great on that first map there. I believe the second map that we have is King's Row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be going into King's Row. So they were able to cap point for a few percentages. So it's not entirely over. They still have maybe a shot. Maybe if they can survive some of these diva bombs or these Junkrat bombs, or they
Right.
can punish the people who are hiding in the back line. Maybe they have a shot. But unless they're able to figure that out, it's gonna be uphill battle. Yeah, it's definitely leaning towards UW.
Right. Something that I'm going to point out right now is that this is a pretty interesting poke dive hybrid we have from the UW with the dive backbone with the wrecking ball and diva, but also a heavy poke from the Zen and Junkrat here. And also keep in mind that we have this Far versus McCree matchup, but the Far Rob is going to have his this Mercy Pock here, so it's going to be a lot harder for Trivia to deal with that here.
Yeah, unless you get some help. But it looks like we're gonna immediately start off with an anti to push back the annoying hamster. They're immediately going for point. They're all bubbled up and fighting for point. It looks like they're able to knock some people around before taking too much damage from the people from Junkrat and the people behind. There's the hamster again. He gets stunned. He gets put in damage, but he's able to get away. He's able to get away almost every time here. So here comes Rob trying to take control from the sky, push the people off into that little building over there. And it looks like they're doing well. They're getting a bunch of picks, and it looks like they're about to cap point.
The Nano Boost comes in to secure the point, and while maybe it didn't get the most value, I still think it's important to just make sure you have that first point on lockdown. So important to get your momentum running it early. Maybe it costs an ult, but it's okay. And that was a much better play coming from the Eagles side. They're able to kind of just get their way onto point, and just force this kind of poke comp away.
And yeah, and with that hope, it looks like they're riding high. They're up on their escort, and they're gonna get ready to push. But it looks like UW is not playing too defensively. They're getting a little pushed up, and there's a rare Junkrat Farah kill. You don't see those very often, but he gets punished for it by Dolphin in the background. Dolphin's trying to put an ult here, but he's in the middle of a bunch of damage. He wasn't able to survive long enough to pop it off.
Platypus, crazy there. Gets the pick onto the Far as Junkrat. Yes, he dies for it, but now diverts so many resources away from his front line that even though the grab comes in from Frosty Feed, this unable to get anything done with it.
Looks like Mad Cow Disease was once again on the back line, didn't get detected before he was able to put down his whole minefield and take control of the point, really. And now we can see Diva ready with another bomb. It's been working so far. Let's see if it finds any kills. And it does again. It gets rid of the big shield boy and up behind it. And Platypus is ready with another Riptire.
This perfect ultimate synergy there. You have the Diva Bomb that's going straight into that line. At the same time, you have the High Noon going off, so you can't stand in the front line. Where do you go? Well, you don't. You just die.
Yeah, it's an ult sandwich, really. And it looks like Stealth Ninja is kind of taking control of the sky now that Farah is gone, because Rob switched over to a Hanzo. So we'll see how his approach changes. But it looks like the brig rally means that they're going to be pushing onto point. And here comes another tire. Going above, going below. Oh, you can't really find anybody. See if there's no. He wasn't able to.
Didn't get the kill actually. That was a great hiding from the Mercy there.
Yeah, it looks like they're learning their lessons. But Frosty Feet hasn't, because no matter how far they fall back, UW just keeps pushing.
Okay, Stealth Ninja, you deserve that one. You absolutely deserve that one.
Yeah, Stealth Ninja pushed up with 0 mech.
Well, as we're looking towards the next fight, you see that this interaction between this Transcendence and Graph, where Frosty Feet has the grab ready. Max, he's basically got the Transcendence in the pocket, but that could be nullified if Anon lands a big Bionade here. So look for the attempt to set that up, potentially as a splash against the wall. It's gonna be really up to Stealth Ninja to try to eat it up, so that can't happen.
Yeah, going into this next fight, it looks like Eagles has an advantage with ult. See if they can open them up. And there goes the grab. Picks up a bunch of the people, High Noon, and everybody's there, but the Transcendence is able to save them. There goes Hog, charged up and going into the battle. There's another tire, goes behind and takes out 3 takes out both the tanks and their main healer Mercy.
Mm.
And the rest is cleanup.
And I'll point out that what we were saying before about the Bionade Grav setup, that almost happened. But kudos to Stealth Ninja. He's showing how to play D.Va. Not only was the D.Va bombs getting massive value, but also just how important it is to eat up important abilities with that defense matrix. In some aspects, is more important than just eating up raw damage. Just eat up the Bionade so they can like eat up the high noon so no one dies. Great plays with the defense matrix, understanding how to get value.
It looks like Eagles took the high route to try to get behind. Maybe, yeah. Their entire team is running through the apartments, and now that it's time to actually get in the fight, they immediately start with just a few trades. UW looks like they're taking it out. Yeah, it looks like getting behind didn't give them any sort of advantage.
Well, the main reason why great defense matrix there, by the way. But the main reason why I didn't get value is because oh dear, here comes the Reptire. It gets the Mercy. Man. And, well, now these guys are kind of stuck here. What I was trying to say earlier is that the reason why the high ground approach didn't really work, if you see the cleanup come in here, the reason the high ground approach didn't work because Anon actually got booped off the high ground from the Wrecking Ball play, and on the low ground without protection, she just dies.
Yeah, it looks like they should have all dropped together, but Tree Bob is able to throw up a high noon in the front, and so now they have to go once again all the way back to spawn. They're stuck inside the spawn building.
Yeah, when high noon comes in, well, neither of your tanks are playing shield, so don't have much of a place to hide there, and Desire Bubbles they aren't always up there to protect you.
Yeah, it seems like Big Owo was like getting so mad of getting hit by the D.Va bomb, even though he has a shield, that he just switched off of it.
Yeah. As we see this high ground approach come again, early grab.
Ooh.
There's the Bionade setup that we were talking about earlier. So where the on actually finally gets the Bionade that I was looking for past the defense matrix of Stealth Ninja, and that allows the Grav Dragon to pick up 2.
Yeah, that Grav Dragon was like near perfect. It's almost like the perfect 2018 combo.
Indeed. Now, right now, looking at the ultimate economy, though, they did use lots of ults. They used 4 ults total, plus the swaps here means they have basically nothing here for this fight. Plus, it just survives as well.
Even on Hog, he's not safe. He was still taken off, and it looks like they got distracted. They got off point just for a second, just enough to lose it.
I do have to say though that at least that one fight there on the point B that looked good from the side of the Eagles, but that just required so much investment. We heard the Grav go down, the Valk, the Nano, the Dragon, that all had to go in just to secure all those kills when really probably the Bionade plus the Grav Dragon would have been enough to secure that. And that massive ult over investment causes them to have no resources for the next fight. And they cash in next fight. In overtime, well, if you have no resources and the opponent does, well, kind of hard to have legs to stand on.
Yeah, it seems they played a little too overcautiously. I don't think they didn't trust themselves to take the fight with just a few less ults. But yeah, like you said, it came to bite them.
Yeah. I'd like to see that seems to maybe like the comms may not be as on point on the Eagles, because there should be some more communication on whether there's a good Bionade that you can follow up on to get past the transcendence of Mags. Now, that being said, we're looking at an Echo from Trivia, and lots of people have complained about how broken Echo is in this current state. Even with the nerf of Focusing Beam, she's so good at deleting targets under half health.
King's Row is really a great place to use her with all this high ground, little perches, and cooks and nannies.
Who's going to contest the Echo? Who?
Oh, nobody. Apparently, Tree Bob is taking straight to point and pushing off their Reinhardt and going in the back line. Yeah, it looks like they're already going to escort before they captured point. Yeah, they're already going down the streets.
Good swaps coming in from the Eagles here, as it looks like they're actually able to stem the bleeding a little bit and take presence on this point B. But I like the swap throughs. The May coming down trying to get some splits, and Astrid already gets Valley getting a pick on Trivia. They needed a hit scan to have some counter to the Echo. So I think that this is a good play. Now the Valk is coming out from Nicers as the Riptire gets the May, and then the Rise after.
Since when was there a May? A May just got swapped onto and immediately taken out. I didn't even see that. Yeah, it looks like UW is already fighting well beyond the place they need to go. They're beyond the checkpoint. They're already going like into the underground.
Now the swaps are still a good idea, getting on the May and Ash. Problem is that when you swap later, it means that you're surrendering ult charge, basically. So the ult economy naturally is going to be better for UW, and we can see the results was basically 4 ultimates ready on the UW, while you only have a Grav and Transcendence. And the Transcendence gets used aggressively here?
Yeah, they used Transcendence just so they could get on the point. There goes the Diva Bomb. Takes out Zen right as he loses his ult. Tree Bob of the Echo with a copy gets a slam. With the Zarya, they get everybody pinned together, and they get a second one, pin them again.
Just kind of swinging a hammer, stomping. Oh man, getting 2 shatters in 1 duplicate. That feels pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks like the first 2 rounds are gonna go to UW.
I do have to say I did like the look from the Eagles for the Kings Road defense there. I do appreciate that they recognize the need to swap, and I will say I didn't really like that aggressive Transcendence use when you have 4 ultimates on the side of the UW side. If I would have kept the Transcendence for when they really needed the healing the most, because, well, I mean, you're going against a massive ult disadvantage. You need to have something to sustain. And instead, we saw the Transcendence actually does get used aggressively, and then once the Transcendence is, now's the time to duplicate. Now's the time to toss out the Diva Bomb. What do you have that can sustain you through it? Well, you just burn Transcendence, so you don't.
Yeah, the Transcendence was the only thing really keeping UW's ults at bay, and as soon as it was gone, UW just went ham. They just pulled out everything they had in their roster, and they were able to really just clean them off the streets of Kings Row.
All right, I think we're going to go on to a short break now, and when we come back, we're going to have a second match from the Overwatch Collegiate featuring the Bethany Swedes. Stick around, and we will be back shortly.
Hello and welcome back. We're going back to Nepal, but this time with a different team. Looks like UW is going to be going against the Bethany Swedes. So this is going to be interesting. Just as we saw in the previous round, UW kind of dominated on Nepal. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. It was pretty crazy, the kills they were able to get, the push all the way up to spawn. I mean, can they get away with it again? I don't know. What are you looking for into this next round?
Well, looking into this, it looks like that the UW are going to I'm hoping to see maybe more of the Ryan Break stuff that we saw on Village, if we do get to see that map, that particular map, I should say. But overall, maybe just some run-of-the-mill dives. We know that UW loves their dive comps, and they're really good at executing, communicating on that. Aside of the Bethany Swedes, can't say I know a whole lot, but I do hope I'm looking forward to see some better team coordination overall than we saw from the Eagles, and that should really help with basically every other aspect of of this game, because Overwatch fundamentally team game. Yeah, there are big things called ultimates. Yeah, there are these things called picks, but like team coordination helps towards all of that. I think we're going to be going into Nepal about right now.
All right, let's see. Let's see what their picks. Let's see who they're going for.
UW? Care to explain why Tribubs on Orisa, Mags on Genji, Stealth Ninja on Soldier, and Platypus on Lucio?
Looks like they're going for an entire role switcheroo. Like almost everybody's kind of messing around. We still got Mad Cow Disease on a tank, so they're in their element.
Okay, I'm interested to see what Orisa Ball offers, because like normally you look for two tanks that synergize in some way. The best kind of synergy I can think of for this UW is like pull into like pile drive.
Well, apparently it's working, because as the fight rages on, it looks like they're starting with a 2 picks advantage, and they are able to take out a Zarya. And there goes a Hanzo getting killed by his brother Genji, and there goes the Baptiste. So apparently they got a mishmash comp going on, but it's at least worked for the first fight, if not only out of shock.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this look from the UW, but like they're still rolling as Mad Cow, literally rolling through the team, and well, right now there isn't a whole lot to deal with the ball. Hope to trap him? I don't know.
Yeah, this ball's running free like he loves to do, really. And Platypus up on the high ground, giving the speed boost to his neighbors around him. And so the other Lucio is trying to get up there and poke, but Platypus is happy to let him stay there. And Mad Cow Disease already with ult, gets immediately pushes to the background, but doesn't choose to use it just quite yet. But looks like he's sneaking back in, bumps that Baptiste just to kind of bother him, throws up his ult.
Oh dear.
Maybe divide the team, get that Reinhardt all by himself. But Nightclaw's trying to bubble his teammates. Stealth Ninja popping ult, pushing back, trying to find anybody before its cooldown is over. Takes out the buddy and Zarya.
Don't really know if the attack visor was strictly necessary there. You already got massive value from the mines, from the Wrecking Ball. Got massive split, got 2 picks out of it. Maybe a little bit of inexperience. Maybe a little bit of, should I say, BM from the side of UW. Either way, though, it worked. So now we're looking at almost last fight territory, as Platypus almost gets to pay for his transgressions there.
Yeah, it looks like he dodged a bullet, and because of that, the team is kind of pushing back. Everybody except for Mad Cow Disease. Mad Cow Disease is always cheeky, no matter what. And looks like Mags uses ult, but immediately gets taken down by the Ryan. Yeah, it looks like
no.
They got the advantage going off of that big
To
ult
be fair,
cancellation.
great counterplay from the Bethany Swedes against the Nano Blade there. You managed to find the stun there, but it might all be for naught, as the sound barrier and the whatchamacallit, the bongo comes in. Too much for the Bethany Swedes to handle, even though the Nano Blade ultimately gets shut down.
Yeah, it looks like the Nano Blade getting shut down was a good way to start it, but as soon as that happened, I think the rest of the UW team realized, oh shoot, we just lost one of our DPS.
Right.
We gotta buckle down and kind of take this seriously, and they did. As soon as they got the first kill advantage, but besides that, the team fight was all UW.
Yeah, I have to say though that it really helped that UW has secured themselves a pretty good ultimate advantage. So even though they dropped the Genji and 2 ults, they are still able to make up for it. Now we see a Winston Wrecking Ball tank climb for UW, and this makes more sense in my opinion.
Yeah, it looks like UW likes changing up not only the roles but their characters. And this Rhine shield is immediately getting burned out. And so this Trib is able to kind of shock everybody around. And the shield is kind of gone, so they're forced to kind of back up. It's so low, and
big anti too.
Yeah, with that shield down, everybody behind it wasn't safe. They were just soaking up all the damage coming their way.
Yeah, and with the anti top that, well, that's damage that can't be healed. This Winston Winston, Wrecking Ball's getting lots of value from being the ones that are able to control the engagement. The previous comp that the Bethany Swedes were playing, well, they didn't have much of a say of when the fight happened. That was all UW having a good dive execution.
Looks like the Monkey and Stealth Ninja on the Echo were able to take out their first Vulcan, and they're able to take out Tank. They got rid of their Zarya. They're pushing up really far in again. Trib is not playing it safe. Him and Genji are going around teaming up on everybody.
No, what did you say? Did you say that you nerfed focusing Bing? Well, I don't care, says Stealth Ninja. I don't need the full 2.5 seconds to burn down the Orisa. I'll be fine. And yeah, that the early pick onto the Junkrat there as well. That, oh dear, what is this engagement?
Man, it's an all-out, like almost free-for-all in the middle of the courtroom, the middle of the court space.
You rarely see fights here. I was not ready to cast a fight right near the enemy spawn, but UW, they make it work, and when they invest 3 ultimates for it, but what do you have to counter it? Amp Matrix? Deadeye? Like, I think the ults that... What is this engagement?
Oh my gosh, they're going for it again. They're pushing out into the open. I mean, I guess they have the Echo and they can use that, but Genji doesn't really have any places to hide. But they don't care. They just throw down Hamster's ult right there, and it finds 2 picks, and Stealth Ninja and the rest of the DPS are able to just mine away. I mean,
you're supposed to be able to win that, not after losing both of your tanks, and who's gonna touch? Who's able to touch here? There's 5% left. The Junkrat just dies, and that's gonna be it. That was heart-wrenching, heartbreaking, something along that lines. I'm struggling to find the right word to say here, but yeah, that was, even though like half of the UW roster was on their less than normal rolls, man, that was a kind of a roll.
Yeah, it was interesting, especially in that last spot. They had a few characters who wouldn't necessarily, like, you wouldn't think of them to be able to play in that open area, especially like Genji and Lucio. They were just fighting out in the open, but with that Winston there protecting them, they were able to somehow make it work and win 2 fights in the courtyard right in front of spawn. I mean, that's just crazy.
I think it helps that the UW are so comfortable playing dive. Like, they understand the fundamental objective of every single hero for their dives. So even though that they're on characters they might not be as experienced or comfortable with, it still seems that they're able to make it work. They're maybe a few hiccups. I would imagine that their normal tank line might not get die right at the very last fight there with a little more discipline, but overall, yeah, that was kind of sad, not gonna lie.
It's almost like we saw it's almost like we watched the same Nepal game twice.
Oh, I don't think the other one was that bad. This one feels almost like UW is kind of BMing here, because they're picking characters roles that they don't normally play, and they're spawn camping. That's kind of just a yikes here, as it looks like our next map is going to be Blizzard World here, and is there anything that the Bethany Swedes can do here to try to remedy this problem?
Well, one thing I noticed is in that previous round was UW was disintegrating the shields. So they've got to do something to, I don't know, like sustain those shields at least a little bit longer, because the shields are kind of the only thing keeping them from just straight up diving.
The problem is here, the comp that, at least right now, that UW is running, this is a comp that really doesn't care about shields. Ball just rolls through you. Genji's on your backline, so is Doom and Lucio, and then Winston just kind of ignores shields. So I don't know how much this brawl's gonna get value. I'd almost like to see the Bethany Swedes run maybe a Brig just to get control of some of these backliners. I think everyone's on different roles again, by the way.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have 2 like rogue like DPS coming from UW. They got They got the Genji and Doomfist. And so
already forced out.
Yeah, as they're starting, looks like they're immediately having to go indoors, trying to get over to the right. But before they can even get there, they're already soaking up
huge anti. Oh
yeah, they're
my
taking
God.
a bunch of damage. The anti is going to be really harmful, especially in the long run. There goes their soldier. There goes their Baptiste. There goes their Rhine. There goes their Ana. There goes the entire team, really.
Yeah.
All in this front gate.
Yeah, that had to come down to maybe a little bit of undisciplined play from the team overall. That they just take too much damage, and the Batiste has to put down the ammo field super early, which means that they're very much down on sustained power.
Oh, there goes Padbus. He takes some damage, but he's able to get away, like always.
Yeah. That being said, they have swapped to the Brigida now. I think they're starting to recognize how much of a danger these kind of divers are. And I hope that this will be able to provide a lot more control against this.
Looked like Vulcan immediately start taking a bunch of damage. There goes a sleep, takes down the shield. Genji jumps in, finishes off Vulcan. There goes
Dash
Brig.
resets for days.
Yeah, both healers were taken out. Man, wow, they were able to kind of get behind. They were able to play around this little statue.
All right. You're receiving a tutorial from Mad Cow Disease on how to play Genji. Step 1, dash. Step 2, get a pick. Step 3, dash. Step 4, get another pick. Step 5, win. Okay. I'm being a little figurative here. Maybe that's not the best way to play Genji, but it sure seems to be working here with the blade engage.
Oh, he gets immediately stunned and taken out. There goes both the blade and the nano. It looks like they're gonna have an advantage in this fight. The Swedes just might be able to take a dub. They take out the Lucio, but there goes their Zarya. There goes their other tank. Yeah, Even though they were able to cancel 2 ults, when the fighting went down, they just lost again. Even without those ults.
A little inexperience showing from the side of UW. The nano did not come in early enough to prevent all of that initial damage. And if the nano comes in earlier, then probably the Genji at least gets a few swings in, maybe some picks. But it doesn't matter, even though that everyone's on roles they aren't comfortable with. The dive's just too good.
Looks like they're trying to keep him outside of this front gate again. There goes Doom from behind, gets in the back line, takes out the Ana, while the rest of his team is taking out all the other characters. Yeah, they just did it again. They kind of jump. They have one character kind of jump behind, and the rest of them push them forward, and they're able to just get a bunch of picks off that.
Yeah, this is rough. As the Roadhog comes in, the Swedes, the Bethany Swedes, they're realizing now the Reinhardt's just not getting value here, and there's no damage that is really being blocked by the Reinhardt shield, and so they go for another crowd control with the Roadhog hook. We'll see how this really works out, but they're really low on time. They're low on time. They're low on time, and there's only half a minute, I should say, to get on point.
Yeah, they're not able to.
Big Bio! No, Stealth Ninja, you can't do this! Big Bio means no one gets healing, and there's 5 ults that will almost never get to see the light of day on the side of the Bethany Swedes.
Yeah, team wipe right as there's like 4 seconds left.
These are sad. I'd at least have liked them to use a few of those ultimates, like... You have ults, it's last fight, you gotta use them, but then there's a massive bio nade for Stealth Ninja, and for some reason the Bethany Swedes was like, maybe we save these ults for the next fight because it looks like this fight is lost. The problem is, it's last fight. You literally can't hold on to your ult economy. It doesn't matter, and those are some kind of sad ulster as we kind of see this kind of area behind Blizzard World right now and you don't see that often. Actually, back maybe a year ago, there used to be a lot of certain Overwatch custom game modes. There was one called like Genji Dodgeball or something like that. You played that on the backside of Blizzard World right there. So I've actually seen it quite a bit, but I don't know. Anyway. What has to change here?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't see a path out of this. I don't see a way. At least I don't know what they should do. because these fights that UW are winning aren't like some complicated, sophisticated like tactics. Like they're just kind of running in and doing a bunch of damage. I don't know. It's kind of just brawly, I guess. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, it's dive. That's what it is. It's to
Yeah.
overwhelm you with damage on all sides with excellent focus on a certain player. Hopefully, this fire poke will be able to get enough damage on the divers before they come in. But Mags, he's gonna roll the far of his own.
Yeah, it looks like UW is gonna be playing for the skies. They got Echo and Farah and Mercy who can all play in the skies.
Emo's already out.
Yeah, it looks like this fight is not playing in the gates anymore. Now that UW is on attack, they're pushing it all the way up to point. They haven't gotten any picks yet.
Mad Cow's in trouble.
Yo, Mad Cow's got to get out of there. He's gotten healing, and he's able to escape.
What's Platypus doing?
Oh, shoot.
It's kind of just rolling around in the back. Does get massive displacement on Reaper as the Wraith out there. As the engage is coming in, we're looking at a tribute right now, but Emo's out again, but mid-air rocket gonna take out Mags, and with the Far Mercy both out of the picture, and Matrix, that's not gonna be enough to survive this. I think this is just a GG go next.
Yeah, originally there wasn't that many elims going on, but what that meant was ult was charging up for everybody, and when the ults came out, UW won.
Yeah, it was. I feel that the Bethany Swedes weren't really playing to the objectives of their composition there. The kind of composition that you're rolling with the Sigma and Farah. You're looking to kind of just hold everyone back with a lot of entry damage with the poke and to get lots of rockets into the team, get a bunch of the Sigma spheres, hyper spheres, splash damage in. That wasn't happening, and the dive of UW, they were the ones that got to say, hey, this is when you're weak right now, and Platypus, he kind of just took a journey to point B of Blizzard World, kind of just, maybe he was searching for a health pack or something, but he eventually just got rolled in, just got the displacement, forced Emo Field. Once Emo Field is down, there's nothing else to protect you from, say, a rocket barrage or a focusing beam. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this second match of this final game that we're presenting to you today. And this is gonna be, I think that's gonna be it. That's gonna be a 2-0 in both games, so cumulative, I guess you could say, a 4-0 from the side of our UW team here.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was two really one-sided, clean games.
I mean, we have to appreciate our UW guys. Give a little bit of lip service to them, like being the UW team and all. But hey, like they demonstrated that they overall do understand fundamentals of how to play a dive comp, even if they're all on roles that might not be their main roles. At any rate, congratulations to the UW team for winning both matches to 0. And I think we're going to just wrap up our cast here. So thank you so much. Oh, actually, I was just informed by our production team, and this is actually a lie. We are not finishing here, as actually we're going to be presenting some Rocket League to you right after this with some casters who are more familiar with the game than me. So, so actually, we're going to take a short break here, and when we come back, our Rocket League team will be here to bring you some amazing Rocket League gameplay.
But thank you for watching these, and have a good night.